Hey, we're back on Inside the Vandals, joined by Vandals head coach Paul Petrino. You guys will be at home on Saturday in front of your home fans, no lightning delays. What does it mean to be back at home?
Oh, it'll be so great. You know, we don't have to have a 6-hour flight across the country. We get to play at home. We get to really a whole nother day of preparing. You're here all day Friday, you're not flying. Although our kids have done a great job of preparing on those flights. But just to play in front of your home crowd, have them all behind you. You know, that Monroe crowd right behind our bench is probably about as bad a group of guys you've ever been around in your life. They were really bad. So it'll just be great to be at home, have our crowd behind us, come out with all kinds of fire and intensity, and have this beautiful dome where we don't have to worry about the weather.
Absolutely, it is beautiful. How much of a difference do the fans make just energy-wise for the players, even for you?
Oh, it's big time, you know, and that we need to, you know, we played real well last week on offense, and now we just got to start. I think if we just start lighting that scoreboard up and scoring over 40 points a game, get everybody back in here. I remember when I was here as an assistant, this place was packed. You could never find a seat, and it was so loud, and it was such a huge home field advantage, and that's what we got to get it back to.
You've talked a lot about starting a home win streak. Why is that important?
Anywhere I've been where we've had a great program, we had a long home game winning streak, and that's something that I think you have to start. You have to make people fear to come here. It'll be a long road trip for pretty much everybody we play. So it's just got to be a big home field advantage for us, and that's how you start a program, you know, and that's, you start building it, and you win game after game at home. And so when you look at that schedule at the beginning of the year, you know, we only get 5 home games usually, but at least you can say, okay, there's 5 wins. Now we got to find a way to win these ones on the road.
Absolutely. You mentioned this a second ago. Preparation, schedule-wise, what changes between a road and a home game?
Well, you just, you know, the players get to be here all day. They get to go to class on Friday, but you're in your home. You get to have your team meeting in your own team meeting room. You get to have your position meetings in your own position meeting rooms. You get to, it's just a little bit more of a home routine that you enjoy.
Let's talk about Western Michigan. What do they bring to the table? What are they going to do that you guys have to prepare for?
They're very talented on offense. You know, they do a good job schematically. They had a receiver last year as a freshman that was all conference. Number 84, he's a really good playmaker. They got a true freshman at running back, number 31, that's big and physical, had over 100 yards against Purdue. And then they got a little fast guy, number 8, that didn't play last year, that's back. I think he was injured last year, but he can fly. So, you know, offensively, they're very talented. They do a lot of things schematically that are very sound and you know, make you game plan hard, make sure we know what we're doing. Defensively, you know, they kind of based out of an under front. They're going to zone blitz you from both sides, weak and strong, and then they're going to mix it up and play man and, you know, in some zone. So it'll be a great contest, and I think it'll come down to the fourth quarter again. To be honest, I'm sure it's going to be a game come right down to the fourth quarter. 2 very evenly matched teams, and we just got to make sure the home field advantage, the crowd, and everybody, and we got to make sure we come out on top this time.
Now, obviously, with any defense, you always have to plan as if it's going to be a very stout defense, but against Purdue, Western Michigan did struggle on the defensive end in stopping the run and getting to the passer. Do you see some opportunities offensively this week to do some things?
You know, I think every week you go into the game thinking you got to believe you're going to move the ball and make things happen, but they got some good players on defense too. They're big up front, they're physical, they run around and play hard, so obviously you always got to have confidence to believe you're going to go move the ball, and you know, it's just they're good on offense, so we got to make sure we outscore them.
Now, Western Michigan, they were 1-11 last year. So were you guys. Both programs looking to get their first win of the season in just their second game. How important is getting a win and moving back to 500 on the season in game 2?
Oh, it's very important. I mean, I think it's very important every week, week in and week out. I think they had the highest recruiting class, I think, ever in the history of the MAC last year. Their head coaches, they're going to turn that program around. There's no doubt, and so are we. So it's 2 teams that are both greatly improved. I mean, they had a chance to beat Purdue. So it's 2 teams that are on the rise, 2 teams that are getting better, and it'll come down to the end, and we just got to make sure we come out on top.
Well, we're moving closer and closer to the home opener. Now, last week, we talked about a few of the walk-on hopefuls. This week, Sarah Jacobsen talked to Tom Hennessy, a player who not only made the team, but also turned out to be a leader.
I'm here with Special Teams Captain Tom Hennessy. Thank you for being here with us, Tom. So recently we did a story on walk-ons, and not a lot of people know that you originally started off with the Vandals as a walk-on. Now you're the special teams captain here on scholarship. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey with the University of Idaho Vandals?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't easy. You come in as a walk-on, you're kind of at the bottom of the totem pole. You got to work your way up. Just come in with a chip on your shoulder, and you got to work harder than everyone else every day. So.
I was going to say, so how exactly do you succeed as a walk-on for the University of Idaho Vandals?
Really, you just have to do whatever the coaching staff needs. Wherever you can find a niche, wherever you can fit in, then you've got to take that opportunity and just run with it. For me, mine was special teams, so I took that opportunity and worked my way up, and now I'm special teams captain. So.
No, definitely. So I'm going to take you back about 4 years, starting out, trying out for the Vandals. So what made you want to try out for the Idaho Vandals? What really was the catalyst for that?
Well, I didn't really go through a tryout process. They contacted me in high school and asked if I wanted to be a preferred walk-on. And, I mean, I grew up a huge Vandal fan. My dad played here, so I had wanted to come to school here. Didn't have a scholarship offer anywhere else, so ended up coming up here, and it all worked out the way I wanted it to. So.
Oh, perfect, definitely. So tell me something about yourself that people don't know about you outside of football.
I'm involved in a couple different things outside of football. I'm a double major, finance and accounting. Also a member of Delta Psi Delta fraternity. I was the president of that last year, so stay pretty busy outside of football.
No, definitely. Thank you so much for being here with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
This is Sarah with Inside the Vandals. Back to you.
A nice piece there, Coach, on Tom Hennessy.
Yeah.
What do you like about Tom?
You know, he's just a winner. He's a guy that you know, whatever he ends up doing later in life, he's going to be very successful. You know, there's a guy that he's got a 4.0 last semester in his academics. He's one of the hardest working guys we have in the weight room. And what I really went to him and asked him in fall camp, I said, I need someone to lead the special team, someone that's going to just get every single team fired up, you know, get them all in there in the meetings, make sure everybody knows what they're going to do. And, you know, Tom's just such a great kid and such a winner. I knew he would do a great job of that. And said, you need to be our Bill Bates, you know. And he didn't even know who that was. But when I grew up a Dallas Cowboy fan my whole life. And, you know, Bill Bates was the great special teams player for the Cowboys. And I said, Tom, you know, that's what we need. That needs to be one of your roles. And he's just a great kid. You know, there's always kids in this that you grow up and you coach and you watch. And you're like, man, I wish my daughter would marry somebody like that. And that's definitely Tom.
Now, how often, obviously it's a lot of work to be a walk-on, you have to work hard to even see the field. How often do you see walk-ons come in, stick it out, and ultimately be able to get to a place where they're contributing on the field in your coaching career?
Yeah, you see it. You see it a lot. And, you know, I think the first thing is he earned himself a scholarship. So he got put on scholarship last year. And then that's, you know, some of the better, you know, players that I've been around throughout the year sometimes have came up that way. And really, those guys, the guys that you see start as walk-ons, then earn the scholarship, then end up being leaders. Those are the guys, you know, 15 years later are running their own company and are very successful. So because they know how to win in life. They know how to get things done. They know how to manage their time, and there's no doubt in my mind that'll be him.
He's Coach Paul Petrino. Coach, good luck this week in your home opener in the Dome, and thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break. When we're back, we'll tell you why Moscow is one of the best college towns in the nation.